Uh, well, Miss Shields, it's been a while already. I've waited enough. And against my will also, because I've been wanting to fight for the longest. Yet, the only fight that I can think about is our fight. There's so much.
I mean, what is Claressa Shields fighting girls with under 10 fights? Hannah Gabriels says she should be rematching her.
Well, she beat Hannah Gabriels, right? And
Yes.
won in good fashion, right? I think that was a good fight because Hannah
No, it
Gabriels
was
can
a good.
fight.
Yeah, they were going back and forth. Hannah Gabriels the only person to drop her.
Yeah, yeah.
Case Scott had a brain injury in surgery 2 years ago. So it doesn't seem like, well, Case Scott wasn't really in danger because Clarissa doesn't have the power to knock out.
Did Claressa Shields make a historic championship statement with her return to middleweight, or did her latest stoppage victory expose tactical weaknesses that only one woman in the world truly knows how to exploit?
The narrative of me being a cheater, please, I beg you.
The combat sports world watched Claressa Shields reclaim the spotlight by capturing the WBA and WBC middleweight titles with a sixth-round technical knockout over Australian veteran Kay Scott in front of 16,000 passionate fans at State Farm Arena in Atlanta. But before the celebration had even begun to settle, former unified world champion Hannah Gabriels stepped forward and blew the entire story wide open. Gabriels did not simply question whether the stoppage was legitimate. Instead, she launched a fierce and scathing attack on Claressa's punching power, addressed the deep-rooted bad blood that has continued to simmer between their camps, and delivered a direct call-out for the rematch that boxing purists and longtime fans have demanded for years. Now, what looked like a dominant championship return has suddenly become part of a much bigger rivalry, with Gabriels making it clear that she still believes there is unfinished business between them inside the ring.
But that's okay.
Now that you mentioned that, I mean, what is your reaction to her stopping Kay Scott in the sixth round?
I think it was expected. We all know that Case Scott had a brain injury in surgery 2 years ago. So it doesn't seem like, well, Case Scott wasn't really in danger because Clarissa doesn't have the power to knock out anybody. And I think that Case Scott had a good fight plan. So, to put herself to do what she needed to do. But the outcome was expected. I don't think nobody thought that Case Scott will put or make Clarissa will challenge her in any way.
The aftermath of the Kay Scott clash sparked dramatically different reactions throughout the global combat sports world. On one side, mainstream media outlets and promotional executives praised Claressa Shields' victory as an extraordinary and unprecedented athletic achievement. Her remarkable decision to drop 38 pounds, moving from heavyweight all the way down to the 160-pound middleweight limit, immediately captured attention and triggered comparisons to Roy Jones Jr.'s legendary and historic move between weight divisions.
A lot. It really does. Right? Roy Jones Jr. was the best fighter in the world. He was. And he just ran out of ops. I mean, really, he was just at the wrong weight class at that time. And it got to the point where he was just looking for ways to challenge himself. So he goes up to heavyweight and then he comes right back down. He tried to do something that has never been done ever, and he succeeded. No, a middleweight hasn't gone up to heavyweight in 100 years, and then to come back down and regain the light heavyweight title, no one has ever done that. So Roy Jones Jr. was really trying to make history. He was just trying to find ways to challenge himself. And really, to me, that's Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields, she done whooped everybody. She done cleared out everybody, and she's just in an era where in her division, there's really no one there to really contest her. So she has to find ways to challenge herself. That reminds me of Roy Jones Jr. a lot. Now, when it comes to Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, that's like the Floyd Mayweather thing. They're in the right division to have the ops to really do great shit. Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano fighting each other. You get what I'm saying? Like Alicia Bumgarner is there. So they could actually put together a crazy historic resume, right? And have these ops that Claressa Shields just cannot find. Clarissa's in a crazy spot because she's a big woman and she's a fantastic athlete with a lot of speed. a lot of experience, great skills, amateur background, and all those things. She just really has it all. But, you know, her arms on D's and there's no one to rumble with. So that's not really Claressa Shields' fault. But I like the fact that she is pushing herself to try to just challenge herself and accomplish different things.
Ringside spectators, including Floyd Mayweather and Terrence Crawford, watched Shields dismantle her opponent with razor-sharp combinations before the corner surrendered in round 6.
What you think?
Easy work.
Easy work?
She the greatest. It's no debate.
Yeah.
No debate.
Yeah, no debate. Greatest one of all time?
I mean, look at it.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah.
The atmosphere is crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
different. So let them know. Let them know. Let them know.
Crazy. Electric.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to be here.
Did you expect the stoppage?
Yeah, I called it.
You too?
I said first round though, but I don't know about it.
Yeah.
There's no other woman fighter that's doing numbers like her.
Yeah. Facts.
Hands down, she the best.
Facts.
She and with a no name.
Facts. Facts.
And with a no name. We don't really want to say it's a no name. You with a world champion.
True that. True that.
I'm saying, can the other girl do what she did just now? She the name.
An unfamiliar
An
name.
unfamiliar name. She the name. Can they do that? She the name. She the draw.
See the draw.
She the best.
You know what that's like.
Ringside spectators, including Floyd Mayweather and Terrence Crawford, watched Shields dismantle her opponent with razor-sharp combinations before the corner finally surrendered in the 6th round, bringing the contest to a dramatic conclusion. But what did you think of Shields' performance?
Any negative reaction to coming down the weight, to the weight cut?
No. Going down to 160, I knew that. I mean, I just wasn't comfortable with knowing that how strong I am at 175. I just know that me being, I know that me being at 175 and how strong I was there, and then coming down to 160 after the 3 years, I was kind of like, dang, I felt strong, I just felt smaller. So it's like, it was just like, I felt like I was punching, but I wasn't punching with 175. I was punching with 160, which I think 160 was never the weight class for me, but I won the Olympics there, and I was naturally like that size, but naturally, even when I was 17, I was getting big as 180 pounds. So it's just like, with that, I feel like now, I felt strong still because I had a really clean diet, and I did strength conditioning 4 times a week, and I was running, and I was drinking a gallon of water every day, so I still felt my strength. I just I felt like I was a smaller person.
Inside the post-fight press conference, Shields openly discussed the grueling weight cut and the extreme discipline it demanded from her. She explained that dropping from nearly 200 pounds down to the middleweight limit required an enormous physical and mental commitment, which forced her to approach the opening rounds cautiously against Scott's natural physical strength and size before gradually increasing the pressure and taking complete control of the fight. As the contest progressed, Shields found her rhythm, sharpened her combinations, and accelerated toward a dominant finish that left little doubt about her confidence. Afterward, Shields boldly declared that she is currently in the absolute prime of her career, insisting that no active fighter anywhere in the world can truly stand 50-50 with her when it comes to overall skill, experience, and ability inside the ring.
It was a great performance by Claressa Shields, but you also have to factor in the opponent. You have to factor in the opponent. K. Scott, I told you she wouldn't be ready for that, right? I picked Claressa. She looked every bit of 42, had no defense, and then like literally was just accepting the punches with no head movement. It just, y'all, oh my gosh. People are saying it's rigged. What is rigged about it? It's not rigged. It just was a competition that we knew. Claressa, they said at the beginning, it was a 30-1 favorite. That's what a 30-1 favorite fight will look like. Like, okay, you put Floyd Mayweather in with somebody that work at Papa Murphy's, Papa John's, or Little Caesars, it's gonna look like that too. So it's not taken away from Claressa. She's a great fighter and she's aggressive. Kay Scott, I think Claressa's biggest battle was making the weight. But experience-wise, she way levels above her skill-wise.
However, hardcore boxing analysts and critical ringside observers offered a much more skeptical assessment of what had happened inside the ring. Several observers emphasized that Kay Scott entered the fight at 42 years old with only 7 previous professional bouts on a record, raising immediate questions about the level of opposition Shields was facing in such an important championship setting. There was also the significant history between Scott and Shields, as the two women had previously worked together as sparring partners and had shared the same boxing stable. Because of that existing familiarity, critics argued that the matchup looked less like a dangerous championship test and more like a carefully constructed showcase designed to provide Shields with a controlled path to a stoppage victory. In their view, the fight allowed Shields to make a major statement while avoiding the kind of unpredictable stylistic danger and elite opposition that could genuinely expose weaknesses in her game.
Noticed, like, watching your fight with her, it was a great fight. No respect for one another, right? But with this fight per se, did you see a difference? And then obviously the 6-7 fights that she has, is that not enough pro experience to fight somebody like a Claressa?
Who, Kay Scott?
Yeah.
Really?
No, question. It was a question.
I mean, she has an extensive amateur career, but she has no knockout power, and it's just, a comfortable fight, no danger in it. So, Claressa was able to manage her. She looked good because she was supposed to look good in that fight. And Kay Scott just seemed to do her job. They're stablemates. So they have sparred before, they know each other. I'm thinking, at least at this time, a little bit of Claressa's values are showing. She wasn't trying to, it seemed like she was trying to knock her out, but like I said, she did have some opportunities and she did not take them. So I believe it was the fight is faithful to the production that they were trying to make, which was a show.
For Hannah Gabriels, watching the bout from a distance served as immediate validation of everything she had been saying. Gabriels argued that Scott simply did not possess the kind of one-punch power or genuine knockout threat needed to keep an elite champion like Shields honest throughout the fight. In her view, the lack of serious danger allowed Shields to control the tempo, dictate the pace, choose when to engage, and operate according to her preferred rhythm without ever being forced into the kind of sustained exchanges that could test her under real pressure. Instead of having to respect a dangerous counterpuncher or worry about being hurt by a single clean shot, Shields was able to steadily build momentum and eventually break her opponent down. For Gabriels, that dynamic was crucial because it suggested that the performance revealed less about Shields' ability to handle elite danger and more about what happens when she is allowed to fight without facing a truly threatening puncher across the ring.
Just for the viewers that don't know, but I wanted to play a clip of you and Claressa. And there's Hannah Gabriels. What was that, a uppercut hook?
That was an uppercut, yes. But the hook didn't catch her really because she was already...
To understand why Hannah Gabriels remains one of the most compelling threats to Claressa Shields' reign, you have to rewind to June 2018, when the two fighters met at the Detroit Masonic Temple for a unified middleweight world championship clash. Heading into that highly anticipated showdown, boxing purists and analysts were deeply divided over what would happen once the opening bell rang. Most mainstream pre-fight predictions heavily favored Shields, with many experts believing that her superior Olympic pedigree, blistering hand speed, technical precision, and relentless offensive pressure would eventually overwhelm the experienced Costa Rican champion. On paper, Shields appeared to possess nearly every advantage needed to control the contest and establish herself as the dominant force in the division. But those predictions quickly began to unravel once the fight actually started. Within the first 60 seconds of the opening bell, Gabriels completely flipped the script, immediately showing that she had no intention of allowing Shields to dictate the pace or turn the championship fight into the one-sided showcase that many observers had predicted before the night began.
At the time, I did not know. I did not know that she did not have power. I thought that she was very strong or that she could have a lot of power. And because of her experience in the amateurs, I thought that I was going to lose miserably. But I knew that I was going to do my best, and quite frankly, I'm a very good learner, and I change. I am usually evolving faster than most because it just seems to that I'm able to put my mind in there. You know, like almost 10 years ago, I started working on my style because I got knocked out. I got knocked out in 2013 by a right hand by Oxandia Castillo. And that right hand landed because my amateur background wasn't enough for me to notice or to not do certain mistakes. So if you see that fight, you see me going to the side, but I did not make my step to get away from that person. And so when I turned, I not only changed the angle to be right for her to throw me that right hand, but I even got closer to her. So she catch me with that, and then the fight was over.
After perfectly timing Shields as she ducked forward into the pocket, Gabriels suddenly uncorked a devastating right uppercut, immediately followed by a grazing left hook that added even more impact to the exchange. The combination landed cleanly enough to send Claressa crashing flat onto her back in the very first round, producing one of the most dramatic moments of her career and instantly changing the atmosphere inside the arena. The knockdown proved that Gabriels possessed the timing, power, and composure necessary to punish even an elite fighter when she made the slightest mistake at close range. To this day, Gabriels remains the only fighter in either amateur or professional boxing history to officially score a knockdown against the self-proclaimed GWOAT, making that moment a unique piece of history that continues to define the rivalry between these two accomplished champions. For Gabriels, it remains undeniable proof that she can create the kind of danger few opponents have ever managed to produce against Shields.
They wasn't good enough. You know, at a certain point, you're going to need a knockout. People want to see knockouts. And so I thought that girl put up a good account. She tried. But, you know, I'm glad she needed the knockout. She needed the knockout. And that was good. And on my life, I swear, I know it's little old me. It's little old me. But people be listening. And I don't know if they took my advice, but I'm glad they did. I've been said that I got video of me talking way back when I think I got a show dedicated to her when she threw her own show. When she made her own, when she paid for everything or did whatever. But anyway, like I said, I'm glad that people turned up for her. It was Atlanta, so it made it a little easier. But I'm glad that people turned up for her. That's how it should be. When Claressa Shields fight, it's an event. It don't necessarily gotta matter who she fight now because she really don't got no real competition like that like a dance partner for real. She really don't got that. So that the public knows, unless it's like Baumgartner and she's too small. You know, so other than that, no, it's an event. So go out and show her the same everything. The same hip-hop people that come out for everybody else, do come out for her. The same everything, do the same thing for her. Because when she come out, it's an event. She's special. You know, what she doing ain't easy. What she been doing ain't easy. And you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Why not support it? She the best in what.
That single round shattered the aura of invincibility that had surrounded Shields, revealing that even one of boxing's most accomplished champions could be hurt when the right opportunity appeared. While Claressa demonstrated world-class heart by beating the referee's count, regaining her composure, and fighting her way back into the contest to eventually earn a hard-fought unanimous decision, the battle still exposed something far more important than the final scorecards. Gabriels had effectively provided a blueprint for anyone capable of executing it at the highest level. She proved that Shields can be vulnerable when she moves forward too aggressively and walks directly into heavy counters through the center of her guard. The knockdown showed that precise timing, explosive counterpunching, and well-placed shots can disrupt Shields' rhythm before she has the chance to establish complete control of the fight.
I was able to interview yesterday that
Yeah,
says that, K. Scott, had a brain surgery 2 years ago, and she doesn't even have 10 fights. I mean, the girl looked nervous coming into the fight right away. I mean, what is Claressa Shields fighting girls with under 10 fights? Hannah Gabriel says she should be rematching her.
Well, she beat Hannah Gabriels, right? And won
Yes.
in good fashion, right? I think that was a good fight because Hannah
No, it
Gabriels
was
can
a good.
fight.
Yeah, they were going back and forth. Hannah Gabriel's the only person to drop her.
Yeah, yeah. But she came out. She came out on top. Was the Hannah Gabriels? Was she in all white? Did she have an all white on that night?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
But anyway, so she beat the girl. All right. Well, ain't nothing wrong with getting her a rematch. That sounds good. She still doing good. But I didn't see that girl feel nervous at all. I thought she was excited. And like she said, I'm not impressed by Claressa Shields. And I think she tried to prove that. So that's just a lot of hate. You know what I mean? Just hating. To me, that just sounds like hate. For real. Because that girl, you know, a lot of girls, they don't have a lot of fights when they, you know, it's some that do have a lot of fights. But, you know, girls is not that big. It's not that big.
Now, with both fighters standing at critical turning points in their respective careers, boxing analysts are closely examining how a potential rematch could unfold and whether the lessons from their first encounter would still apply. Many experts believe the tactical dynamics could develop in an eerily similar fashion to what unfolded during their original meeting. The familiarity between Shields and Gabriels, combined with their previous experience against one another, could create another intensely strategic battle where even the smallest mistake might completely change the momentum of the fight. While Shields has continued developing her skills and adding experience since that first showdown, Gabriels has already demonstrated that she understands how to disrupt Shields' rhythm and capitalize when the opportunity appears. That history is why a second meeting could once again become a fascinating tactical chess match between two highly accomplished champions.
To perfect my craft. When I first met her in a canvas, I thought that I was going to lose miserably because I only have one amateur fight. So if you compare to her amateur career,
right,
you know, I was nowhere near. But then we fought, and I got to realize that I wasn't that far. She said I was too old, and that I was too slow, and that she was too strong, and all of those things that she said she couldn't back up. So after that fight, I have done my job, and I have been ready for years, and they know better. So I just wanted to come over here to let you know that all of that crap that she talks about me being a cheater, about me being too old, about all of these things, you just check all of the fights that she has been taking lately. None of them are more than 8 fights or 10 fights. I have 20 plus fights. And even though I haven't fought in 2 years, because I fought 2 years ago, because I was...
First, the power differential remains the ultimate equalizer and could once again become the defining factor in a potential rematch. In their first fight, pre-fight predictions suggested that Gabriels possessed the kind of single-shot stopping power capable of completely changing the direction of the contest, and that same dynamic could still be relevant today. While Shields has recorded 4 knockouts across 19 professional victories, much of her offensive success has traditionally come from sustained combination punching, relentless pressure, and the ability to overwhelm opponents with volume rather than relying solely on raw, concussive power. Gabriels, on the other hand, has already shown that she can create dangerous moments when Shields enters exchanges without sufficient defensive awareness. If Gabriels can once again time Shields as she presses forward and land clean counter uppercuts through the center of the guard, another dramatic knockdown could be well within the realm of possibility. That possibility alone would force Shields to approach every forward movement with greater caution and could fundamentally change the tactical rhythm of the entire fight.
Daughter's future. And in the last 15 years, I have really tried to do my best. Even before I became a mom, and when I accepted Christ in my heart and I wanted to be different and better, I thought about it, and I thought about what I wanted to leave, the legacy that I wanted to leave to my loved ones. By that time, I didn't know I wanted to become a mom someday, but now that I am, and now after all that has happened, After all that has happened, my main goal is to clean my name so that I can give this gift of legacy to my daughter intact.
Second, the stylistic battle of volume and pressure could ultimately define the middle rounds of a rematch. In 2018, Shields responded to the early knockdown by making important adjustments, relying on rapid inside fighting, relentless hand speed, and sustained activity to outwork Gabriels across the judges' scorecards. Predictions for a second meeting suggest that Shields could once again follow a similar tactical blueprint, immediately looking to close the distance, crowd Gabriel's punching range, and use short, compact hooks to prevent her opponent from comfortably setting her feet and launching clean counters. However, the third and perhaps most important variable centers on Gabriel's technical evolution since their original encounter. Gabriels has emphasized that when she first faced Shields, she had spent only about 8 months rebuilding her fundamental mechanics after an earlier career loss, meaning she was still in the process of developing the version of herself she wanted to become. Over the past 8 years, Gabriels has continued refining her defensive footwork, lateral movement, positioning, and counter-striking timing, potentially transforming the way she would approach a second fight. If Gabriels can avoid lingering along the ropes and maintain better movement under pressure, she could eliminate some of the defensive mistakes that allowed Shields to regain momentum and claw back crucial rounds during their original battle.
But Claressa Shields looked good in one of them fights. She looked real good in one of them fights. I can't remember what it was, but she looked okay. She looked all right. But no, as far as the you saying about old girl, we'll step up then. Where's Hannah Gabriels at? What weight is she at right now?
Middleweight.
Oh, so okay. Do she got a couple championships?
Yes. She has about 3.
Oh, well then there they go for the undisputed then.
Yeah, she feels like that she should have fought her for undisputed. That she fought the wrong person for undisputed. Something in those.
But this girl, she just won 2 belts from this girl. That's it. And the other, and now she got the other ones, right? The girl we talking about, Gabriels.
Gabriels fought. She got titles in different divisions, from heavyweight to.
Yeah, but I'm saying, where's she at right now?
Oh, right now she's inactive. I mean, she got 2 KOs in a row, but she fought about 2 times in the last 4 years.
Oh. Well, girl, ain't nobody studying you. You ain't been fighting. Now you coming out the woodworks. See what I'm saying? See, now, okay.
And she also admitted that Claressa Shields sent her an offer at 2025 last year, and saying that she didn't take it because she wasn't at heavyweight anymore. The fight was at heavyweight, and it was only for $60K. She says that now.
Finally, the physical toll of extreme weight fluctuations cannot be overlooked when evaluating how a potential rematch could unfold. Shields endured a punishing training camp and demanding weight-cutting process to shed roughly 38 pounds and return to the middleweight division, placing significant physical demands on her body before stepping into the ring. That drastic change in weight could become an important factor if she faces a naturally powerful opponent like Gabriels, especially during the later rounds when fatigue and accumulated damage begin to matter. Analysts are questioning whether Claressa's punch resistance at 160 pounds would be able to absorb Gabriels' clean power shots as effectively as it did 8 years ago, particularly if Gabriels can consistently land her strongest counters. The difference in physical strength, conditioning, and durability could therefore become a major storyline in a rematch, because even a fighter with Shields' elite technical ability may be forced to answer serious questions if Gabriels repeatedly finds the target with full-force punches.
Let me direct myself to her, I guess.
Right.
Well, Miss Shields, it's been a while already. I've waited enough. And against my will also, because I've been wanting to fight for the longest. Yet, the only fight that I can think about is our fight. There's so much in this. 2021 was one thing. 2023 and your team's dirty moves are another thing. But you keep lying on me today. I've seen some of the interviews and I see you talking all this SHIT. And I know that you will not fight me because even though you say you like beef and you like this and you like that. When it comes to execute, you just run away. That's why you're running away from Remy. That's why you're running away from these other people. And don't come back and act like nothing is going on in your little bubble.
She said you're
If you don't
running
want to
away
shut
from
up,
Remy.
if you don't want to shut up about the narrative of me being a cheater, please, I beg you.
The bad blood between the two fighters intensified after promotional disputes erupted in 2021, while a planned 2023 bout was ultimately derailed, keeping them apart once again. Gabriels has continued to maintain that contractual complications, behind-the-scenes promotional games, and unproven narratives were deliberately used to prevent her from getting back into the ring with Shields. According to Gabriels' perspective, those circumstances created unnecessary barriers around a rematch that many boxing fans had already been waiting years to see. Instead of settling their differences inside the ring, the rivalry remained unresolved, allowing the tension between both camps to continue building with every passing year. That history has added another layer of bitterness to an already competitive matchup, making a potential second fight about far more than championship belts or rankings. For Gabriels, it would represent an opportunity to finally settle the questions left hanging after their first encounter and prove that the moments she created against Shields were not simply flashes of opportunity, but evidence of a genuine stylistic advantage. Gabriels is demanding a fair purse for a potential rematch at 160 pounds, putting the pressure squarely back on Claressa Shields and her team. Now, we want to hear your breakdown. If Claressa Shields and Hannah Gabriels run it back at middleweight, does history repeat itself with Gabriels hurting the champion once again, or does Shields finally prove that what happened in 2018 was nothing more than a temporary flash in the pan? Would Gabriels' power and counterpunching still create the same problems, or has Shields evolved enough over the years to completely neutralize that threat? That debate is now in your hands. So, that's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming boxing videos and breaking fight updates. And don't forget to share your thoughts, predictions, and analysis in the comments section below. Stay tuned, keep following the action, and we'll catch you in the next video.